Hey guys, what's going on? So, the server restarts in an hour, and so I figured that I can either record this video now, or never be able to talk about it ever again, and I kind of want to talk about it. So, this is a 55, something in that area. He has like 300 more crit than me. And you've seen my account, so I can only imagine what this person's account looks like. This guy is playing a Fortuna level 35 with an item, with a level 8 item. The gear is pretty terrible. He has a growth tile, the Knight's Armor, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are using now, and then a Master's Bow for whatever reason. The first thing that I noticed was that he's playing Frost, but it's not a Max Frost, and that was an immediate red flag to me, and that's why I continued in this game, despite seeing a Max Bard and a level 35 Fortuna, with an item, because that was the first thing I noticed, obviously, and so then the next thing I noticed was that he had a Frost, that was not a Max Frost, and I was like, oh, this is obviously somebody who just copied this deck, and then decided to just play it, and with their current levels, and it made me want to do a video, and especially how this whole entire game plays out. It made me want to do an entire video about the idea that this is why whenever people want me to build them a deck with whatever question they have, like, oh, what's the best card here? What's the best this? What card do you use with this? How do you build a Bard deck, right? I could give you all of the information, and, you know, especially if you ask me a deck that I don't even play, like a Bard, I could look up a good Bard deck, but I wouldn't be able to give you the skill to play that deck. And then when you look up decks, and you look up pro people decks, and you just, you know, like, with your current card levels, you just use those cards, that could also not work out as well. He's gaining basically no value out of his Frost without the level 15 ability. The level 15 ability is what makes people use it at high level as a support card, because it gives you just that little bit of toxic to theoretically freeze out your opponents. You could be potentially not running anything else, but you are using it for that 15 ability, and theoretically, just every so often, you could just win a game out of nowhere because you freeze their important things, and they're not able to defeat a Tribunal instantly, and so then they get Tribunal, and that puts them further behind, or they get Bedlam, or anything, like very late game, and that's why people run Frost. But then I also noticed that he's running Priestess as well, and that's pretty terrible as well. And so then I was like, maybe he didn't just copy this deck, maybe he actively built this deck. But then I also realized this person is a Max Bard, and he gains, I don't know if you've noticed already, he gains 0 stacks the entire game. 0. He never shuts off Bard, which is weird, because then it's like he's actively choosing to not do that. And then he builds this weird, like, 4 Knight statue thing, and then at some point, it might be because of a boss, but at some point he only has 1 Bard, and I just can't, I don't understand how a person could have this high of an account, this max of a character, and not know how to play it at all. I mean, like, at all. You could look at my, like, level 7 Treant videos, and I think I do pretty well. I think I do pretty well for, you know, just getting a unit, you know, basically looking at, like, dev build YouTube videos, and I think I play it pretty well. I don't play it the best, but I understand how the unit works. This feels like he and that's me playing, again, that's me playing a level 7 Treant. This person got it to max, and he's playing it like this, which suggests that he's always played it like this. The Knight Statue Covenant of Veteran setup is very awkward. Nobody in the history of ever has ever used it like that. Yeah, just all around, I wanted to limit test this deck, and I thought that I'd be able to in this in this game, and obviously I didn't. I think this the setup is if you've been watching my gameplay, I think the setup is interesting. I still only like using 2 Crystalmancers. I always build 7 Treants, and I did have a game where I went like 506 because I just got what's it called? Gold tile after gold tile after gold tile, and you're able to then utilize not only all 3 growth tiles, but then you're able to utilize all of your gold tiles that you obtain over the course of the game. And with Gunslinger, even if you accidentally build up a level 3 like awakened enchant, or a level 6 enchant sword, or a level 7 enchant sword, you can just wait for your Gunslinger to be a 7, move it onto that tile, and then move a Treant onto there if there's a gold tile on that tile, which is a really good, like, it's something that you could never do outside of this, outside of having a Gunslinger in the game. And that's like one of my favorite usages of Gunslinger now. It's getting these really awkward tiles, these gold tiles, really late in the game, and then being able to just reorganize it, my entire build, and then put all of my Treants on gold tiles and the growth tiles. It's very strong. It's very strong without a legendary hero. Obviously, the missing piece in this deck is a Zeus, so that you could have all of your Treants on Zeus tiles, and then when you level them up, it starts going crazier because then they all get the upgrades, and then that's boosting their power, and it's boosting their power because of the Zeus ability. So not only are you gaining stack power, but you're also gaining regular damage and attack speed with the Zeus. It would push this deck so far. I think people just don't care about this deck to try it anymore. People that have like a max Zeus are just running the Genie Sultan deck because it's just better. It's just that much better. But I think whenever they nerf Genie Sultan, and people like decide to go back to this, I think that Treant is still very good. But yeah, that's basically my whole video. I think he dies incredibly shortly. But yeah, this is why I'm always hesitant to just tell people how to build a deck. Because if you don't understand why this deck is losing, if this person doesn't understand why Frost is not good in that deck, why Priestess is not good in that deck, and somebody just told them, oh, put these cards in this deck, this is what you get. You get somebody who doesn't know how to use a Bard, doesn't know why they're using a level 13 Frost, doesn't know why they're using Priestess. It's just like really bad decisions. And I feel like people who use Priestess, they always say the same thing. It gets me mana. Yeah, but it gets me mana early game. And I'm like, yes, but so does Cauldron, and that doesn't make it a good guard. You're not, like, so does Vampire, but you're not actively using Vampire for the mana. You're using it for the first talent left side ability. And so, like, as you play the game and as you lose battles, you can look at your deck and think to yourself, what should I switch out? Maybe Frost isn't good, even though pro people say use it. Maybe I should use something else. Maybe if I put a Trapper in this slot, or maybe if I even put a Chemist in this slot because I have a max Chemist but a level 7 Trapper, even though people say Trapper is good. You know, like, these are the decisions that I can't make for you for your account. If you told me, like, what's better, Trapper or Chemist, I will say Trapper. But if you have a level 7 Trapper and a level 15 Chemist, the Chemist is better. And there's, like, things like that you have to be able to experiment on yourself for your deck and figure out what is the best version of this deck for your account. Not what is the best version of this deck if you had max everything, but what is it for your account? And that can only be learned by accepting that sometimes you make bad decisions with deck building. And that's just part of this game. That's part of playing this game. And people usually just ask the shortcut of How do you build this deck? What's the best level 9? You know, like, and I'm just like, just play the game, man. Just experiment. Try different cards. Have you tried this card? No? Okay, try that card. See if it works. Have you tried this other card? No? Okay, well then try this other card and see if it works. That's playing this game. I'll catch you guys next video.